I got some inspiration while I was doing a collage, and today I'm going to show you where I got that inspiration, how I keep track of things that inspire me, and I'll get started on this painting. Oh, and I'll tell you about Mousegate 2.0. Hi, I'm Christine, the artist behind Darlyssa Designs, and I'm happy you're here. Welcome. Hi everyone. I have these little books that I got from Ollie's, and they come in a 3-pack. And I recently started, and I'm going to cover this up because I couldn't find the right colors, but I recently started an inspiration book for things that I find while I'm collaging that I might want to try when I'm painting. So I just started this page. I'm probably going to cover that up unless I can mix up the colors of paint and then try one of these. I want to keep my color palettes on here. I'm going to get a piece of watercolor paper to do my color palettes, and then I'll just stick them on the page later. This is another thing that I want to try, some wood grain with the gold vines on it, and I want this book to be fun, so I thought that was cool to add. So in the end it'll be a nice book to look through. So today I'm obsessed with these jewel tone colors, and it's so cool because it's got my color palette that I really love, the blues, and I love magenta. This is a little more purple, and the gold leaf, and I'm not a huge fan of this hunter green. I like it. I like kind of more of a teal, but I'm gonna see if I can use that as inspiration. And I found, I brought back, so I have my mouse story to tell. I brought back a bunch of art supplies that I had in my camper because we found another mouse in our camper, and it was a horrible experience, and I will tell you more about that in a few minutes. But I'm gonna mix up, I don't have that color that's in here. This is too purple and this is too pink, so I'm gonna try and mix this color up. My pink is really thin. I'm gonna try and mix these colors up, and I will come back and tell you the new mouse story. I started putting things together, and one thing led to another, and I just kind of roughly sketched out where I wanted everything to go, and I'm just gonna play and have fun. And I've got my inspiration here. I want to do a little bit of this. No, there's not much left, but maybe, whoops, I can find some other ones. This is like the perfect color, patina green, but I don't think this paint is good either. So if you've been around for a while, you know that I got an artist who passed away. You're probably going to hear about this for a long time. I got this room, and it was an entire, actually they put on the patio, the screen patio, enclosed to create a studio for this artist, and it was completely full of art supplies, and my children got it for me for Mother's Day. And so you'll see that a lot of my paint is no good. A lot of it's still good, but a lot of it is kind of thick and not so great. But because I'm just learning and playing around, I'm just doing the best I can with it, and I'll probably still be using it for years. A lot of it I have sealed underneath the counter that I'm working on now, so hopefully it'll be good for a while. And I'm noticing now that I'm probably going to have to go over this a couple of times because this blue is showing through a little bit. But I wanted to use up this canvas. I don't know what I started painting on this, but I'm just gonna play and use all these pretty colors, and if I have to go over it a couple times, I will. Oh, it looks a little bit dark on here. It's not really quite that dark. I really want more of a I want more of this color here. I'm going to see if I can find a brighter. I'm going to go ahead and use this right now because I see that I'm going to have to go over it again a second time. And then I will see if I can match that color a little bit better. But I'm just going to play and do some fun stuff. I have not really ever done this style before. But I'm just drawn to these colors in this inspiration photo. So it's a really good idea if you're learning how to paint and you have a hard time figuring out what you're going to do, to create a little book like this so that you can... I'm kind of thinking this is like a ladybug, but I originally did like the sun and the moon and all of that, but this kind of feels like a ladybug to me. So I think we might do that. I like that idea. I don't know how I'm going to turn it into a ladybug now, but we'll figure it out. You figure it out as you go. Actually, that's pretty close to that. I think I did get pretty close to that color. I know it's hard to tell in here. Okay, so while I start painting, and I'm just going to use this purple here that I'm mixing as I go, and then I'll switch to, I have some teal. This is my favorite. And then I have some of this, more of a hunter green. And then I have a, a real purple here. I'll tell you what happened this weekend. So, and I'll post Mouse Gate, the first episode, in the description below. But we have our camper at a friend's house, and it's out in the woods, so you cannot avoid critters. It's just not going to happen. But we tried to seal our camper the best we could. Well, I say we. When I say we, I mean Bob. We went up a few months ago, and I guess it's been a few months now, and there were rat droppings in our camper. So we sealed it and thought that, maybe it left. And then Bob went up with Carson a month or two ago, and he said there were more mouse dropping. Well, no, actually, last time he didn't even notice. There was a spot that he wanted to check, which is one of the reasons why he went up there, that he might not have sealed underneath the camper. So that's why he went up there, and he fixed that. And he said he didn't notice anything when he went up there. So this time I felt better. It's like, okay, we got rid of it. I feel pretty good about going and staying in the camper now. But when we got there, we noticed bigger droppings. It's like, okay, that's a big... And what I thought was a mouse, turns out they're rats. Ugh. I don't like it at all. So I stayed inside the house the first night, and Bob was a little bit upset with me, and he kind of thought I was being a little dramatic. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not staying in a camper with rats. And we woke up around 7 o'clock in the morning, me and Carson. Kylie was still sleeping. And we went outside to see. Carson was ready to start playing. So we went out to see if Grandpa Bob was awake, which I didn't expect him to be at all, because he's a sleeper and not a morning person. And he was awake. And I had left him the night before in front of the fire. He was just hanging out, and he loves to sit by a fire, so he built a fire and was not real happy with me. And he was laying in bed, and he said, I was right. He found a rat, and he smelled it when he went in. Ugh, so gross. So he started taking the camper apart in the middle of the night. He said, I was up till 2:30 in the morning trying to find this rat, and he found it. Okay, where was it? Now I'm feeling better because, okay, if we found it, that's great. We can clean the camper and be done with this situation. So he said it was under the corner of the mattress, right where my head goes. Oh my gosh. So he found it underneath my mattress. So he took everything out. It was just a tiny little spot on the corner on the underside of the mattress. So we took the mattress pad off. We took the mattress outside and we cleaned it with upholstery cleaner and Odoban and cleaned it several times. And I really wanted to get a new mattress, but that was being a little dramatic because it had barely touched the mattress, and RV mattresses are very expensive. So I was like, okay, let's just clean it really well. And we did. And I was like, okay, I feel pretty good. We cleaned the camper about 5 times. He did the big heavy duty cleaning, and then I went in, of course, and did another cleaning. And I noticed he missed one drawer and one cabinet, which they only got into one section of the camper, right between the bed and then along the floorboard towards the bathroom. So I guess it had eaten some poison and was looking for water. So it didn't get into any of my clothes cabinets. It didn't get into anything in the kitchen. I don't leave food in there anyway. But I do have a cabinet of clothing that I keep, so I don't have to pack so much every time we go in the camper. So, but I did pack it up in bags to wash it because it kind of smelled a little ratty. So I told Bob, you missed a cabinet and a drawer. If you don't mind, please go and clean that out. So he did, no problem. And then I went back and I sprayed the whole camper down with Odoban again, and I had like a little wax burner going so that it could smell better in there, and it wasn't too bad. So he was excited because I said, okay, I feel pretty good about sleeping in the camper. The camper was, we figured maybe when he sealed this little guy in, and we caught it. So I was like, okay, good. We're good. So we go to bed and woke up the next morning and went to Steenhatchee and went on the boat with my brother and sister-in-law and the kids. And we had a great day. It was super fun. We got lots of scallops, which I don't eat anymore. So my brother-in-law, I guess, had a feast. He was pretty happy about that. And then we came home and everybody was really tired from the day on the boat. So the kids took a shower, and then I said, okay, we can just turn on the TV and watch a movie. The kids were watching TV, fell asleep pretty early, around 9:30 for vacation. And I was reading, went to sleep around 11, and I had a nightmare that a rat got stuck in my hair and I couldn't get it out. So I woke up, put my hair up, went back to sleep So remember, I had slept in the camper the night before. No problems. Around 2:45 in the morning, I heard, like, no way, I have to be dreaming. I was sound asleep. So I got up, I got my phone, I turned the flashlight on, and I just sat there. A few minutes later, so I was like, Bob, wake up. And he was in total shock because he was sound asleep. I'm like, I hear it. I hear something. And in our camper, we have our bed. We have 2 cabinets on either side, and there's a window that goes over the headboard like this and then up. So my head is right here, and we found the rat right here, right? I think it's in the blinds. So he goes, and as he's going to move the blinds up, I'm a little nervous, so I turned around, and I was going to get, like, in the direction to go off of the bed, and he's moving the blinds up, and this little tiny, like probably about that big, rat comes out from the blinds, runs up my leg as I'm trying to get off of the bed, bounces off my left arm and then goes somewhere towards the camper door, and I went straight towards the back and was standing on the toilet. I don't know. I don't remember getting there. Well, first, I fell off the bed on this hand, so this hand's been in a brace. I can move it this way, but I can't move it this way. And then Bob had my foot caught up in the covers, and he let go. So I first hit with all my body weight, and the bed is like 3.5 feet up off the ground. It's pretty high for me. I'm 5'2.5". So I hit with my hand first, and then when he released the covers, so I could, now he was reacting to me, so he's like, ooh, but he never saw it. So he let go, and I hit the floor with my knee, with both knees. So both of my knees are black and blue. I couldn't move my hand for a day or two. And yeah. So I said, you got 3 choices. We're going to sleep in the car until it's time to leave in the morning. And as I'm saying this, I'm telling the kids, get your pillows and blankets and go get in the back seat of the car, because we're not staying here. And he said, you can pack us up and take us home. You can let us sleep until you're ready to leave in the morning, or we can pack the car and go home right now. So he was like, okay, we're going to go home and I'll just come back up here. So that's what we did. We drove home at 3:15 in the morning. And so he's up there. He turned around, called his boss, said he had to take care of that. The boss was very cool about it. He's actually working in that area. He works for Gates. So, yeah, and he hasn't caught anything. So that's a little disappointing. I don't know what we're going to do about that. Yeah. Where do we go from here? I'm certainly not going and staying in that camper anytime soon, which is extremely disappointing because I love my camper. And we cannot figure out how this thing is getting in here. So the mama's probably gone. Well, the mama's gone. Hopefully that was the mama. I don't know. He threw her right in the fire. She was dead for quite a while by the time he found it. So, yeah. I don't know how many babies she had, and I don't know if they're in the camper or if they were coming in and out of the camper. I just don't know. So, I don't know. That's my rat story. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. And poor Bob, he's so tired. He didn't stay in the camper this whole time. He stayed in his friend's house. But he'll be home later, and he's very discouraged because he thought he was going to stay there and catch all of them, and then we wouldn't have a problem. And now he's got to leave the camper there closed up without catching anything. So he did another round of sealing everything. So hopefully nothing new will come in, and we'll have our friends check while we're gone to see if the traps catch anything. But there's my story. It was a horrible weekend. We did have a lot of fun with the kids. I'm glad the whole middle part of our trip. I just wonder if anything came out and ran around while we were in there. The second night that we stayed there. I don't know, so that's a little creepy. So I like the way this is coming out so far. I am going to have to take a little break, though, because, like I said, I hit pretty hard. And with autoimmune issues, you know, when you get a little bit of an injury, it can trigger a flare-up. So I just started feeling better, and now I'm not feeling well again. So I keep ticking. I keep moving, but I gotta take lots of little breaks and rest and move around. So I just leave my little project here on the table. And I like these colors together. I would never have picked this palette, and I'm going to do some gold leaf over it when I'm done. So yeah, I would not have put this green, and this is a metallic green, which I'm really loving. I didn't have anything like a hunter green. This is more of a hunter green. This is more of an emerald green, but you know, you use what you have, and I didn't want to mix all the paint because that's a pain in the neck. Now, if I were going to do, a lot of times I'll do several canvases at one time in the same style, because that way, you see, I put my hand, and there's from the pencil, and I'm always putting my hand in the paint on the canvas. So I like to work on several of these at a time. Now that I know that I like this palette and these colors, I will maybe mix up this color palette in larger batches so that I have enough to do several canvases. But when I first start something and it's just trying something out, I just mix it as I go, and then that way I don't end up with a bunch of mixed paint that I'm not going to use. But I like this. I think I will. I'll play around with this one and finish this one, and then I will go back and maybe do several in this style. This, I believe, I'll have to find out what size this canvas is. 16 by 18, 16, 12 by 16 maybe. And then of course I will put these on my website if they come out nice. And I might go in with some markers, some Posca pens to do some little, you know, I love my chrome markers. But I would like some really bright gold, so I probably will do some, gold leaf. So I don't know if I want to do that as a ladybug or not. Maybe. I'm going to leave that for now. Let me find some more leaves as long as I've got this out. I think what I'm going to do is do all, I like this teal on the, oh, you can't see it. I like this teal. It's hard to see here because I'm going to have to go back and do another coat. But you see, I like the teal on top of this green. One, because this green is metallic and the teal is not. And two, because I just like it. So I think I'm going to do all these leaves, and then I'll go back over it with some teal accents. I think that would be cool. This kind of painting for me is so fun because it's not something like a face that you have to have, you know, perfect so it looks like a face. This, you could literally just go in with your paintbrushes. You don't even have to do what I did and sketch it all out. I could have just come in here with the paintbrush and started. But because I wanted this strip here, I wanted to be sure that those lines were straight. Okay, so, all right. Let me I keep saying I want to go take a break, but I'm just having so much fun. I love it. This is going to be really pretty. I think I need a smaller brush for these leaves. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to go take a break and come back. I don't know if I'll do a little bit while I'm gone, but we'll see. Okay, because I realized that this may take a long time to paint, I'm just kind of working on it a little at a time today. I said before I wasn't really feeling so great, so I'm kind of in a quiet, creative mood. But here's what I've got so far, and I'm adding that pink. I'm still using the mix that I mixed between this purple and the pink. And then I added this but it kind of looks white on there, so I'm mixing it with this metallic green, so it's making this really pretty color there. So I'm going to keep using these same colors in this one too. And I won't add any more colors except for gold and some gold leaf. So later when this dries, probably tonight when I'm just getting ready to settle down and watch a little TV before bedtime, I'll take out my chrome pens and I will kind of do some outlining and but I'll work a little more on this and then I'll come back and show you my progress. And we'll do it that way for this video. Okay, I did add the light pink. And I was going to add my favorite blue, but I decided not to. I didn't like it. So I think that's it for the color palette. And it's moving along. I'm working on these right now and I love it. I love doing these little swirls and stuff. So there you go. This has the beginnings of a face. And I'll come back in a little bit for an update. Okay, the last update was 3:51 and it's 5:58 now. So I think I need to stop because I'm messing it up. And I'm thinking I might do a little chrome pen and just play around with this while I watch TV tonight. And then I'll come in and finish it with the paint tomorrow. Okay, here it is. It's finished. I could go in and tweak and make more lines perfect, but I think I like it like this, and this was super fun. So I know I wasn't able to do the entire painting. If I did, it would be a 10-hour video. But you'll have to let me know if you like seeing the painting started in sections as I create them, and then I'll do more. I haven't done a lot of painting videos because of that. I don't really know how to film a whole video, but I did just get a whole bunch of small canvases, 6x6. So I'm going to do some of those and maybe they'll be quicker. But this was really fun. I love it. I love the color palette, and I think I'd love to make some prints out of these and put them on my website, as well as the original once I'm done sealing it. I don't know if I'll have to go back over some of the gold after I'm done sealing it. I'll let you know. But this was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to clean my art room and kind of reset, but I will see you on Monday for Masterboard Monday, and I've got a really cool project. So I'll see you then. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.